Hey, I'm here with Kray Smith, a magnificent drummer. He's just added some drums to one of my songs, and it's sounding really good. Kray, what are you up to music-wise at the moment?
Over the last few years, I've played in my own bands. I'm kind of moving away from that now at the moment and trying to do more session work, more paid drumming work on other people's stuff, whether that's studio or live stuff. I've done a few gigs with a band called Fall on Hope, which is like a power metal band. Obviously, I've just done some work with Mike, which is not a power metal band. Just trying to go on to the next step in my musical evolution, which is getting paid.
Cool. What advice do you have for beginner drummers?
When I first started playing the drums, there was about 2 years when I was 15, 16, where I started playing on an electric drum kit, and I completely off my own back. I didn't really get any lessons, and then I went to college. And the first time I ever played an acoustic kit was in my audition to get into the Manchester College She and Simon campus. I definitely wouldn't recommend doing what I did. I'd recommend trying to get lessons. I think that really helps you learn correct technique. When I first started at college, I couldn't set up a drum kit, so I had to get someone to come in and set the drum kit up for me because I'd never set up an electric drum kit. It's good to have someone to teach you the fundamentals, how to set up a drum kit, how to tune a drum kit, how to hold a pair of sticks before you try and learn anything too complicated. So just make sure your bases are covered, make sure you're getting a good foundation for your playing, and take a strong influence. Find people that you really enjoy and follow what they're doing. There's some amazing resources online as well. Drumeo is fantastic. I still use it now. There's so many hours and hours and hours of videos for all levels of drummer. And I definitely think that just take advantage of all of that. It's an amazing resource.
Cool. Once someone's got past the beginner stages of drumming, what are the main things that they should focus on? What are the things they should get that you want to get this exactly right? So I know. One thing will be they've got to learn to play to a click.
Yes.
But what else is there, to get to the intermediate and advanced levels?
I definitely think playing to a click is very important. I think there's generally a progression of drummers, definitely, to playing in your room, and musicians in general, playing in your room, playing along to your favourite songs, not doing a very good job of it. And then you come out of there and you start getting into small bands with your friends. Maybe you don't even play a few shows, maybe you play a few shows just playing covers, and then you start getting to the point where you're writing your own songs. I think it's very important to know how to work with other people when you're doing that. When I first started playing the drums at college, I had my first practice with a bunch of musicians, 16, 17, and like I say, I just started playing an acoustic kit, and so I was so excited to be on an acoustic kit, and so I was playing and playing and playing while they're trying to have a conversation, and eventually one of them just said, "Will you shut up?" They didn't say it quite that nicely.
Yeah. Playing while people are talking.
And I think that's the best lesson I ever learned, because I quite fancied the girl that told me that, and so ever since then,
to remember,
ever since then, I never play while people are talking. I shut up, I listen, we have a conversation. And that's important for any musician. You can't talk, you can't progress your music if you can't hear each other think. You need to work with people and not against them. And that's not going to happen if you're too loud.
Learning to work with the people. Playing to a click, working with people. What other super important skills are there for gigging, especially professional gigging?
Getting yourself a decent amount of equipment.
Yeah.
Getting a decent level of equipment. I mean, obviously, don't fly straight out of there and spend $5,000 on a world-class drum kit to play a pub around the corner. You don't need it. You can gradually, over time, work your equipment up to a level until you're at the level that you need to go out and start gigging. Understand that. A lot of the venues you're going to be playing at, don't necessarily want you to be bringing an absolutely ridiculous level. You've got to kind of tailor what you're bringing to the venue. If you're playing a
not
pub,
bringing too much gear.
yeah, don't bring a full cymbal rack that's not going to fit onto the stage. Don't you don't need full drum triggers and things like that. If you're playing like a pub to 5 people, you're just going to annoy the sound engineer, who's probably not actually a qualified sound engineer. He's probably just a guy that's learned how to use a mixing desk.
Yeah.
So make sure that you understand the level that you're playing at, work things up very gradually. I mean, obviously, if you've got parents that are multi-millionaires and they want to buy you a £5,000 drum kit, that's amazing. But just understand and work yourself up gradually. Don't try to shoot for the sky immediately, because you'll fall and you'll get let down. And it's very, very easy to get disillusioned with music when you aim for the sky and don't get there.
Yeah. How do you, when you're playing like, when you've got a gig coming up with like session work where you've been hired for like a certain number of shows, or it's for like a recording session, how do you prepare for a gig or a recording session? What's your like process?
So I think the best example that I have is like I over prepare. Yeah, like I don't think you actually need to go as far as I do, but by the time I turn up to the very first practice I have in a bit of paid work, I've already got all the songs, I've listened to them several times, I've charted them out, I've wrote out the structures of the songs, I've got the sheet music, and I go in there. Even if I haven't had the chance to actually play the songs, I know the songs inside and out, so I'm not wasting time in the practice room. Because if you're being paid, you're obviously not paying for this practice. Rehearsals can be, for a 4-hour rehearsal, can be 30, 40, sometimes £50.
Yeah,
if you're going into that room and you don't know the songs, you're wasting their time, you're wasting their money. You need to understand what's needed from you and know what you're doing before you even get in the room.
Yeah, that actually goes for like, not just drummers, that's like the most important thing about preparing for a session work or
for sure.
gigs, isn't it? Yeah. And the last question is for my guitar students. What are the main things that make a guitarist easier to work with and better to work with from a drummer's perspective? And that could be like the musical skills and the interpersonal skills and just the professionalism in general.
Yeah, I mean, kind of what I mentioned before, in the same sense that like you get a lot of drummers that will play over the top of the other musicians. You will also get a lot of guitarists that will like full whack. Right, I'm just like, we're trying to have a conversation. Like you're in a really fortunate situation that you have a volume knob that you can turn down and still play that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't have that. Like I can play quieter, but it's still going to go over the top of people. It's going to be very hard to hear around a drummer. Like just make sure that you're a member of the band, that you are the guitarist, you've got the bassist, you've got the drummer. Check the ego, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to, I've met the most arrogant drummers, the most arrogant bassists, and definitely the most arrogant singers. Just go into everything with an ego, because you're part of a collective. Study, like get an amazing guitar teacher, and understand that you're always studying. Like you never learn everything. There's always more to learn. There's always new styles. There's always new areas of music to go into, and that's realistically the great thing about music for me. And as a drummer, just have fun. Like not all bands are going to have a live drummer. We're kind of going to a point where a lot of guitarists and a lot of singers will now have a backing track and things like that.
It's not
so. If you're going into
if you can get a drummer, do it.
It's absolutely better to have a drummer, and I'm not just saying that because I really need people to hire me. No, like it's always better to have a drummer, but it's becoming less and less often that you will have a drummer. Especially if you're doing paid work. So just make the most of it. Like have a great time out there and make great friendships and great relationships that will last 10, 15, 20, 30, last all these years. Friendships and working relationships within music is very important.
Nice, man. Thanks, Kray. Hopefully you'll hear the song that we recorded today. Hopefully you'll hear that soon.
Yeah. Thank you.